forward to this.
What's up everyone, how's it going? So the April update came out just a few days ago, and I played it quite a lot, so I thought it'd be fitting to do a whole review, going over all the new changes and new content that came with it, and basically just going over the good and the bad. So let's go over the main thing that came with this update, and that is the new Chic map for Capital Supremacy. Now, whenever Capital Supremacy was announced way back, people were pretty upset that there was only Geonosis coming with it, so luckily, we are getting new maps every month with this. So the next map, of course, was Chic, and I've played it quite a lot, and it's a pretty fun map. There's not too many issues I've seen with it. The main problem I do have with the map is its size. It is an extremely large map. I think it's a lot bigger than Geonosis on the first phase, and honestly, it can feel pretty empty at times, so I think they should look into adding more AI into this map, because like I said, it just feels empty, and I find myself running quite a lot before finding any enemies, so I think adding maybe like 10 or 15 more AI would be perfect. Or maybe they can rework the map and just make it a little bit smaller, make the command posts a little bit closer to each other, because they're like on opposite ends of each other, so you get spawned in way at the beginning of the map, and then you're gonna have to run quite a long ways, and it takes a while. But that is pretty much the only problem I have with this map. Now the second phase is exactly the same as the second phase on Geonosis, just where you're going into the capital ships. And what's kind of cool actually is the cutscenes are the exact same, just with the different backgrounds, of course, so I thought that was kind of an interesting way that they're doing it. So I know some people were expecting the capital ships to be a little bit different in terms of the objective, but it is the exact same as Geonosis, so that part is still kind of repetitive in my opinion. I think it'd be great to have the locations of the bombs and stuff you need to activate in different parts of the Venator, just to change things up a bit so it doesn't feel as bland, but it is still a really fun map nonetheless. One more thing I have noticed with this map is that I believe there's 3 or 4 AATs allowed at once on Chic, and that would be completely fine, but the problem is the Republic does not have a good counter to this. The only thing they do have is the ATRT, and that thing gets blown up so quickly, so it's not even like a counter to it. But that's the only vehicle they're allowed to use. I think it'd be really helpful for the map to add in maybe the TX-130 tank from the original Battlefront 2. Now the problem is I'm not too sure if that's canon or not, so maybe they can make it canon again if it's not, but I think it'd be a perfect counter to the AAT because right now it can feel kind of unbalanced. But overall, I am pretty happy about it. I'm excited to see what the next map is. It's going to either be Camino or Naboo. But let me know your thoughts down below about the Chic map. What are the things you like and what are the things you don't like? I'd like to hear your thoughts. So the next part of this update was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. And that is that we are going to be getting a new Leia skin on May the 4th. Specifically her one from A New Hope, which is one that a lot of people were hoping for. And I'm surprised they are adding this in. It was completely out of nowhere. There were no hints about it. It just got announced as the community transmission came out, so I am really glad that they are adding it. And how you unlock it is on May the 4th, I believe, for that entire week. There's these challenges you have to do to unlock it, so I really do hope that they start implementing this kind of feature more, because it brings back new players, then brings you a reason to actually play the game so you can get this new skin. But I do hope they do allow it to be available for credits or crystals after the challenge is over, for those people that maybe not have internet for that week or just aren't able to play during that time. And I am also glad that they are adding in content from multiple eras, not specifically just Clone Wars, because I do love Clone Wars. It's probably my favorite era, but I still do love the original trilogy a lot, so I am glad that we are getting content from that as well, and maybe even we can get some sequel trilogy stuff mixed in there. But I do hope they keep going this route. Even though a skin is just kind of a little small thing, it is still enough just to kind of add some variety to the update, because we've gotten Clone Wars for the past few months now, and I can see why some people are getting bored of it. But there was a mod on nexusmods.com where it allowed you to play as the skin and just unlock it for you for free. The file did get taken down because it does break their terms of use, which is kind of understandable. You know, you're getting a free skin through a mod. But I was able to get a hold of it just to test it out in arcade, and I also made this cool kind of picture where I photoshopped Vader in there. I'm not the best at Photoshop, but it was just something I was bored doing, so I think it looked pretty cool. And I'm not going to show any footage of the skin because I'd like to have you guys wait for it and play it as yourself. But there's videos already uploaded online if you really want to see it. But yeah, that skin does get released on May the 4th. I'm hoping that they start releasing more A New Hope skins, because that's probably my favorite skins for the original trilogy. I'm really hoping for Farm Boy Luke to get announced. So another thing that came along with this update is a big change, and that is that Darth Maul and Yoda did get blocks for them. And it works really well. Darth Maul's animations are awesome. The way he uses his double-bladed to block, it looks really cool. And then there's also a glitch that came with this update where Yoda's dash ability no longer goes through the lightsaber blocks. A lot of people were thinking this was implemented in order to balance him out because they did give him a block, so they didn't want him to be too overpowered. but Jay did confirm over on Twitter that this is a bug and that they are looking to fix it, so there's no worries about that, though it does kind of suck that that is a bug right now. Also, along with this update, we got a ton of hero bug fixes. I haven't tested them all out, but I haven't heard any complaints from them, so I'm assuming most of them are working well. But along with bug fixes, we also got a few new bugs, and there's a pretty bad one going on right now that pretty much everyone already knows about, and that is that Anakin's retribution ability is able to be activated over and over again. So personally, I don't know how it's done or how it's activated. I think it's just a glitch that happens automatically to everyone who uses the retribution ability, so I don't think there's like a specific way to get this to work. But it is a pretty bad glitch because honestly, he was already overpowered, and this just makes him insane. Basically, it allows him to just do retribution over and over again. I saw a video from Swanee Plays Games, and it allowed him to do it like 3 or 4 times, I think it was, so it's a pretty bad exploit, and I'm really hoping they do implement a hotfix to fix this, because it can be game breaking, especially on like Naboo, and there's a few smaller bugs here and there, but overall, I think the update was a really good one. It wasn't anything crazy where like we got a new hero or something, but adding the new capital supremacy map is good, and I am happy with it. I'm hoping for next month, maybe we'll get a new hero, maybe a new reinforcement, who knows. But we are getting another capital supremacy map next month. Now which one that will be, we have no idea, but we'll just have to stay tuned for that. But let me know your thoughts down below, what you thought of this update. Were you happy with it? Were you kind of disappointed with it? Or wish there was more content to come with it? Just let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. But that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure and hit that like button. It helps the channel out a lot. And if you're new, subscribe for more Star Wars news, gameplay, and more. Thank you all for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.